Oops.
I think we weren't watching the clock there.
Oops.
Surprise ending there.
I had, it wasn't an IBM. I think what I had was a compact, but it would do graphics because it would run, it was running Windows 3.1. And it was a weird orange screen and it would hurt your eyes after a while.
My compact was strictly graphics or strictly text as I remember. And it was a nice green CRT.
Okay.
One of the original luggables. It was a nice machine. I liked it.
Yeah. Oh, I remember it was one of the very first machines I had that actually did run Windows. But it was so annoying to look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was kind of like that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think what I had was a compact, but I'm not sure.
But I gotta drive all the way to
I don't remember.
But I know it would do graphics because I remember running Windows and I was like, I've got a Windows machine. That was back when I actually liked Windows.
Yeah.
And that was coming, you know, right off of the, what was it, DOS 6?
Yeah.
That could do some
DOS
multitasking.
something. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
The days of Iron Men and wooden computers.
I actually kind of miss DOS every now and then I remember, oh, I still kind of use it. I go to the Linux show all the time. It's not exactly the same, but
well,
I could do a search in DOS and find what I wanted to look for.
Yeah.
What I was looking for. Whereas with the search engine that I have on, well, let me back up for a second. I've got 4 Windows 7 machines and 1 Windows 10 machine because I had to convert one so I could do my taxes. And I can't find shit on that. The search engine, I'll type it in and it's like, that is the file. I know it's the file name. I know exactly what I want. No, can't find it.
Yeah.
Well, you could run
oh, we can let Ray talk. We just muted him because he was talking in the background. Hey Ray, you can unmute yourself. Yeah.
Or you can sign, whichever.
You put a little note in the chat thing.
Yeah.
First paragraph. First syllable. Was that?
Give him a bot. No. Give him a shot. Oh, yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Obviously, young Frankenstein.
Yes, whatever. So, you guys remember when I went up to Libre Industries in Dayton and they had all the cool robots, the industrial robots, the robots you could throw through a window?
Yeah.
And it would land upstairs, and it was the Cobra something from Libre Industries. It's amazing. And I even looked at buying a toy version. So they called yesterday and they need parts made and they cannot make it, those parts on a milling machine, really the best way to do it would be to use a laser. Some of the stuff is only 1/1000th thick, like Mylar film. Other stuff is 30,000 thick vinyl, or not vinyl. It's it's a type of it's like a rubbery plastic material. I looked it up. It's all laserable. I told him, hey, I could do it. And then I would do the lasering for free if they would take all of my automation club for a tour through their building again and to see the robots and stuff. And he's like, oh yeah, we'll bring all your automation club, the robot club. That's not a problem. He says, but you don't need to do the lasering for him. What they want to do is they wanted to buy one of my laser machines. So they're trying to actually do a purchase, and they've agreed to go ahead and eventually let the whole club come up for a tour.
Awesome.
Very nice. Thank you.
So you made a sale.
We don't know. I made a good sales pitch, and it just is up to them to decide, do they really want to buy that piece of equipment? It's not that do they want to buy mine, it's just do they need to buy that equipment at all? So they're going to put it in as a capital expense equipment tooling purchase, and they'll have to have somebody else approve it.
So they manufacture industrial robots. Is that the deal?
Well, they're more like military robots. It's the robots that people would have in their armored vehicle, in a backpack, or in a Pelican case. And so if instead of sending a person into a hostile building, they'll send a robot in. Or if they want to do vehicle inspections or bomb disarming, or just grab a bomb and carry it away. Yeah, there you go.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know so much about the Razor robotics over there, but the the iRobot, the stuff with the, it looks like a big neck on it or something.
That thing. That thing.
Definitely, yes. Yeah, those are
Probably
pretty
that
cool.
thing.
Yeah.
65 to clean.
That thing.
Nothing middle and 65.
Yeah, I don't know about that thing.
So
That
What
looks
is
like a
that?
panda bear.
sidewalk.
Oh,
The medic.
oh, that's the medic. Okay,
That's each
That
one.
Each is 65.
that's interesting.
I don't think it's horrible.
That thing. So these used to be owned by iRobot. iRobot, the people that made the vacuum cleaners,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they are now owned by somebody else.
So they're not an independent company. They are a subsidiary or whatever of some other company.
Yeah, it's Lear Robotics now.
Lear Robotics?
Yes.
The same outfit that makes the Lear jets and the
No,
Lear.
I'm sure it's different.
Well, there's also a Lear that makes the things that sit on the back of your pickup truck and turn it into a camper.
Yeah, we had looked all this up once before. I don't remember.
Now, Ray, with manufacturing out of that really thin material, can you cut multiple sheets at the same time?
You should not. The reason is because it can cause them to stick together, because you're not necessarily obliterating materials. Sometimes you end up welding them together. Yeah.
Well, there was an article about how sometimes the lasers are not perpendicular or normal to the surface, but in fact have a slight tilt to them. So you end up cutting, if it's terribly thick, you end up cutting different size materials. So how would you process something as thin as, I think you said it was a mil?
1,000ths, not a mil.
Okay.
1,000ths up to 30,000ths.
Okay.
Very carefully.
Yeah. Yeah.
We when we had the Exmer Laser Company in Santa Clara, California, we were asked to process a lot of very thin films, and the advantage of Exmer laser as opposed to CO2 laser is that it is a very short wavelength. It's 308 nanometers, and what it does is photoablate, which means that it dissociates the hydrocarbon or polycarbon material rather than just burn a hole through it. And what that does is it removes the residue. So all you have to do is have a blower. So when you're hitting it with a laser, the residue, the products of that the laser generates as the hydrocarbon dissociates, basically are water and CO2 and get blown away. And for example, one of the places that these are used extensively and exclusively in current manufacturing is the membranes for laser jet cartridges. Because what that does is, the way a laser jet cartridge works is it causes little spits through little miniature holes in this membrane, and depending on which holes it spits through, for lack of a better term, it it gives you a different character or a different image. And they still use those in manufacturing inkjet cartridges.
So
And we were
essentially, they are vaporizing the material.
well, they're physically dissociating it. They're not just vaporizing it, because you vaporize it recondenses. They are chemically dissociating it into the two components of the plastic
Gotcha.
or membrane or whatever, and you get water vapor and carbon dioxide. And so it's a dissociation process as opposed to just a vaporization process. And we had other projects too. We provided uh, lasers for our primary laser business was supporting flat panel displays. They were making AML LCD displays for, you name it, laptops, so forth and so on. But one of the interesting projects we had, which kind of never went anyplace for us, was a process where you put a fiber optic through a catheter up your rising aorta into the heart, and it blows little holes in the interior of the heart muscle. What that does is, after you blow all these little holes, the heart heals itself. It has a tremendous capacity for healing itself, but it causes the heart to grow new blood vessels. So if you have an area of the heart that's been damaged, say by a heart attack or whatever, you can use this to perforate the interior of the heart muscle, and it causes this process of,
Healing.
of blood vessel regrowth to occur. And so when they were starting the experiments on this, it was really funny. They showed up one day and they had this cooler, and it turns out they took it back in the lab and they set everything up. Well, it turns out the cooler was full of pig hearts, and they were using pig hearts to simulate human heart muscle and they were proceeding to do this perforation process on these pig hearts. Of course, the pigs
They
were
never recovered.
yeah, you could, they they didn't have any way of testing them to see how they regrew blood vessels. But the thing that they were concerned with was the cutting process, which would leave a clean hole rather than a fused hole. Because if you use a longer wavelength laser and you just
Yes.
fuse the surface, then you won't get any regrowth. You need a clean cut, and the excimer laser at 308 nanometers would do that. Um, it would also give you a hell of a sunburn if you didn't cover yourself up while you're in the lab. So it's a very different laser process, though. It's a chemical dissociation process. So, Jim, you're back.
And Vicente's in here too.
Ah, yeah. Hi, Vicente.
Hello.
So I'll ask my question again. Has anybody used, what did I say it was?
Home assistant.
Home Assistant, right? Home Assistant. Has anybody used Home Assistant?
Alexa.
Pardon?
What? Like
It's-
Alexa or Google.
No. Home Assistant is a specific application you can run on your smartphone. You can run on desktop, and you can use it to control all your IoT devices.
But it's from Google or is a different company?
Independent. It's
Okay.
an independent third party
it's a
organization.
it's a do-it-yourself kind of deal.
Okay.
Yep.
No, I don't use it. I hear about that.
Nobody's used it. Okay, well, I guess I'm in
A new territory for the club.
yeah,
League
right.
of
I'm
your
in,
own.
yeah. Well,
I-
I've got it installed on my desktop, my workstation, but I haven't been able to access it properly. It's one of these where you go to a particular port on a machine on a server and bring up that port in a browser, and basically you use it to control. It gives you a dash panel, and it gives you to control all of your IoT devices. And I got a zillion IoT devices now, so
Yeah,
I need a control panel.
I'm pretty sure
What this sounds like to me is you're doing a great job, Art. Go ahead, lead. We'll be right there following behind you.
Yeah, yeah, right. Not too closely, if you don't mind.
You are the salesman.
Look what I ended up with, Vicente.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I got 5 of them today.
Yeah.
Micro Center. Micro Center,
Nice.
$2 a piece.
Feels nice.
And it's blinking a nice blink.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. I don't know what to do with them yet, but I got 5 of them to play
Hello.
with now.
Well,
Hey.
So can you program those with the Arduino IDE?
no, yet.
Unofficially, it's not supported yet, but I've seen Arduino actually is building their own board using the same chip. Yeah, he's got a couple of them. And once Arduino comes up with their own board, I'm sure it will be supported.
So how do you program them then? What IDE do you use?
Well, right now I am just using a C++.
Oh, really? Okay.
That was the quickest SDK to load up and get to work. And
Okay.
You basically, you compile it and then you drag the file over and drop it into when you boot this thing up, when you plug it into the computer, you hold the boot button and it enumerates as a drive, and you just drag the file over and it starts. I think Vicente has been using MicroPython on
For
them.
Python.
Okay.
So
So
They
C++
sup-
and MicroPython both work then.
Yeah.
they're both supported, and the Arduino board that will look very similar to that, except it's going to also include a Wi-Fi adapter. So it should be supported soon, because I've actually seen pictures of the
new one.
production run for the Arduino board.
So this uses the M2020 or whatever the chip is.
Something
It
like
is-
that.
I'm sorry?
I don't remember the number, but it's something like 2020. Yeah.
2040.
Yeah, but it's a new dedicated chip though, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
something
but
they
it's-
designed.
It's a couple of ARM microcontrollers.
Yeah.
inside. Um,
It's an interesting chip.
Is it available or is it somebody's custom?
No, I think it's available. Raspberry Foundation sells the microcontroller, the chip RP2040, and Adafruit and Sparkfun, and I think that Seed Studio, everyone is developing boards to sell with this microcontroller. So the Arduino environment sure will be working with it very soon. Meanwhile, I am using MicroPython and I am having fun with it. It's interesting.
So the number is RT 2040?
2040, yeah.
2040, yeah. RP, Raspberry Pi.
Oh, RP. Okay.
Raspberry Pi 2040.
Okay.
Um,
Cool.
It's a neat board. I'm just not sure what I'm going to do with them yet.
That's
But
castellated, right?
yes,
Okay.
they still have, even after I bought my 5, they still have 25 plus in stock.
I think
Wow.
they already have a lot of them, but they release 25 every 4 days or so
Yeah.
to make people go into the store to buy other stuff.
Yep.
It's a
You know,
marketing.
I couldn't see completely on that, but is that a 40 pin? And I'm guessing the name came out because it was done last year in 20 and 40
Mhm.
pin.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 40
Yeah.
pins on it.
Yeah.
Okay. So thus the name.
So is that a USB
Micro.
C or it's a micro? It's not a
Yeah.
C.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have no. Wait, do you have any idea why they went with the micro instead of the C, Vicente?
Probably cheaper.
Oh, yeah. I think that is a mistake. I think that
.025 cents cheaper.
all new boards must use the USB-C, I think.
Yeah.
But they will change that in the next release.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they messed up.
Yeah, some you know,
They
too retro.
probably had inventory they had to use up of this.
No.
Of the
As
micro.
Ray said, it may be very cheap, and this is a very cheap design, so
Yep.
Yeah.
they use it.
I mean, these boards are only marketed for $4 a piece anyway.
Uh-huh.
So
So
mean,
the $2 a piece is a micro center price?
$2
Yeah.
a piece is get you in the door so you could buy more stuff, which I did not do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I walked in the door and said, I want these. And I walked right out of the door.
We don't
Did you
do
get
that very often.
I was gonna say, did you get your free 32 gig USB stick too?
I did actually get a free 32 gig USB stick as well. Yes. That was kind of funny. I was literally standing in the getting ready to check out, and I got an email that said, you get a free 32 gig USB stick. And I'm like, I'm going to take one of these too, because apparently I just got a free one.
Okay, great.
Hey, I'm looking for my email that says that.
Yeah, I don't have one. That's for sure.
I was literally standing in line when I got the email that said that. I mean, I would have.
Email, forward that to me.
Send my work email. I want like one every week.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny because I was actually standing in line when I got the email.
So Leroy, you will be at Micro Center every week buying five of them.
Nah, probably not. I need to find something good to do with these right now. Just knowing that the price is cheap enough. I mean,
Use it to learn MicroPython.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, we heard you.
hey,
Oh,
Hi, Jane.
we can hear you.
well, that's good.
Oh, and and your volume's right too. That's
Yeah.
good.
It's the only thing that's different is I logged back in to Zoom. I logged into the other Zoom and then came back.
Interesting.
It's better.
So, what's going on with Jim?
Not much. I ordered a couple of more 5 megapixel real link cameras, cheap.
Okay. So yeah, I guess I need to install the Python SDK and learn MicroPython for these things.
It's very easy. You load the Tony IDE,
Mm-hmm.
and that's all you need. You need to download the MicroPython file and drop in your simulated disk, and that's it. Work very easy. And I think it's a good opportunity to learn Python because MicroPython is Python. It's just Python.
Just yeah.
Now, are the versions that you compile under MicroPython compatible with previous Raspberry Pi chips?
No, it's a standard Python 3, but with some limitations. You don't have all the libraries because it's a microcontroller. There is not a space for a lot of stuff, but you can program in Python, and you have a special libraries to manage the I/O pins and timers and servos and this kind of stuff that you used to drive with the microcontrollers. And the good thing is that you don't need to compile. You just press run and instantly you have the program running. It's different than the Arduino IDE. This is much faster. And it's a interpreted language, but you have every kind of library to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So you can do things very fast. And the libraries are made in C, so the functions are fast enough for any project, I think.
So it's not actually a compiled language. It's an interpreted language.
Interpreted, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the good thing is that you are typing just press from, and instantly you see how the microcontroller perform. It's very nice because you go quickly, you go fast, changing your code and testing how it
That's
works.
that's one thing I know is like with the Arduino IDE, you compile it each time you make a change, and then it uploads to the board. With Python, you just stop it, make your change, and tell it to run again. It
Yeah.
doesn't compile.
I working in this project that is measuring pressure with the Raspberry Pi Pico. I'm measuring pressure in this tube, and
Oh yeah.
you can do that in 10 minutes because you have the library and you have a samples, so it's very easy to do whatever you want.
So what's the sensor?
It's a pressure sensor. It's a low cell inside a plastic package, and you have a low cell amplifier, and you kind of read and program the amplifier using no I2C, but something like I2C is different. So you need to control the clock and the data lines yourself. But there are libraries to do that for this kind of chip,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's very easy to use it. Now I am planning to use like 6 chips in parallel simultaneously. So I need to modify the library, but I think it's easy to do. Let's see. I'll be reading six sensors
Oh.
simultaneously.
Oh,
Well, they are no I2C. You need to drive each one with the clock and data lines. So I will use the library and modify the library to work with all the chips simultaneously.
so why are you doing 6 pressure measurements?
I don't tell you.
Okay.
It's a secret.
Okay.
No, it's kind of an interface for hand movement, but it's just an idea.
So is this fluid pressure or is this gas pressure or is this
Yes,
liquid pressure?
yeah, you can use liquid, but you need to put some kind of oil or something in the sensor to avoid the liquid to go inside. But mainly is for gases.
Okay. Interesting.
This is the sensor.
What's your pressure range?
Like 5 pounds is 40 pascals. 5 pounds.
Okay.
It's low pressure, very low pressure, but there are chips with another range.
Is it a linear or a logarithmic response?
No idea. I don't. I am seeing the values, but I'm not sure what's the real pressure. I just change the pressure and see how it moves in the graphic in the plotter.
Okay.
But
Are you wanting just a trigger?
no, I will use the proportional value for another stuff.
Okay.
But I think that the pressure is linear, or at least you use a function that is in the library, so you have the pressure. So the library solves any problem of on linearity or whatever. It's a equation that gives you the pressure. So you only need to establish the 0 value, and after that you have the different pressures.
Interesting.
My problem, I have no idea how to glue the silicone cubes. Nothing glue silicone. I try everything, but I
More
try.
silicone.
Is the silicone used in medicine? In medicine, it's a silicone tube, can be used for blood or whatever. But there is no way to glue it. There is no way to glue. I try with 7 different glues, with hot glue, with UV curing glue. Nothing works.
Can't you laser fuse it?
No, but the
Nope.
silicone doesn't like the heat. Silicone
Doesn't like
reject
the heat. Okay.
to fuse. Yes.
Why are
You
you?
can use more silicone to glue the silicone together.
to tie that
Maybe
cord
use the
together?
silicone to glue silicone. I don't know. I would try, but I have no hopes. Yeah.
Vincente, why are you using silicone as opposed to another tubing material?
I try different materials, and this is the one that doesn't change the section, because if I use
Guys, I have to go.
other plastic.
Talk to you later.
Okay.
Take care, Ray.
Bye.
See you next week.
I try with different materials, and this is the one I need to use, because it maintains the section, doesn't change the volume when you.
It doesn't pinch. Doesn't pinch.
Exactly, doesn't. Yeah, well, it means what you need to go further. But I try with how is the name of the yellow material? No, that was extracted from the Amazon trees. The first tires of the cars were made with this material. I got.
Say again, please.
It's a material that was used to make tires in the cars from the last century.
Oh, okay.
So you're not talking about latex then, are you?
Yes, exactly. Latex. Yes.
Latex. Okay.
Okay. I tried with latex and doesn't work. So.
By the way, we were at 2 minutes there, Leroy.
Yeah, I'm kind of trying to watch this time.
So
I
how
know
was
we're
the
getting- I
how
know we're
was
getting
the snow?
close.
How was the snow in Milford?
Oh, we had like 10 inches the first day, and then when we had this, it was about a day and a half later, we had I would say 2 inches, something like that.
Yeah.
It was significant. I'll put it that
Okay.
way.
There is a neighbor here with a tractor that goes for all the houses cleaning the driveways. He enjoyed doing it. So, okay, let's do it. Every morning he go around just cleaning all the houses for fun.
My neighbor loaned me his really monstrous
Okay.
snowblower that starts with a AC plug into the wall.
Okay.
I got it halfway home to my house and I killed the engine.
Oh crap.
It would not hand start. So I'm out there dragging this huge goddamn piece of dead equipment to the closest outlet so I can get it started again.
Well,
Adios.
keep warm. See you next week.
30 seconds.
Yep.
That sensor is considered a load sensor, by the way, not a pressure sensor.
Okay.
I just had to look just to see, but it's considered a load sensor. 15,
Okay.
12, 10.
Bye.
Bye. We'll see everybody next week.
Take care. Bye now.
Bye now.
Bye. Now we have.